Coming to this problem, observe that if I take coordinate axis, x-axis, y-axis and all that, the coordinates of A as 3 by root 2 comma root 2, say that is A, and B, say this is B, and C. Look at the way the coordinates are. This is C. Okay, and now you are looking for D, which lies in the fourth quadrant according to him, and it is like this. Now we want, suppose D is somewhere there. Now we want area of the quadrilateral ABCD to be maximum. Now I want you to observe that whatever D is, the part of ABC, that is fixed because coordinates of ABC are constant. Therefore, making area of ABCD maximum is same as making area of the triangle ACD as maximum. So we focus on making area of the triangle ACD maximum. So let's go for area of ACD. Half mod, that is 3 by root 2 A C minus 3 by root 2 minus root 2 and D 3 cos theta 2 sin theta and A again 3 by root 2 root 2. Okay, mod is there, all that. Now expanding this, half is there, but maximizing this part, whatever I wrote is same as maximizing half into mod of that. So I'll have it as mod minus 3 plus 3 minus 3 root 2 sin theta plus 3 root 2 cos theta plus 3 root 2 cos theta minus 3 root 2 sin theta I am getting. So this I can cancel. So I am getting, basically taking out 3 root 2, all that common, I am getting actually 6 root 2 common. So 6 root 2 into mod of cos theta minus sin theta I have. Now it is so obvious that we know that its maximum value is root 2. It is like a cos theta plus b sin theta. Maximum and minimum values you know formulae. So it is root 2 and it is obtained in the fourth quadrant, obviously when theta is equal to 7 pi by 4. So that is the value of theta for which the full quadrilateral ABCD is going to have maximum area. Let's go to next problem. Now in this problem, we know that log, because base is less than 1, it's a decreasing function. So when I remove the log, the inequality gets reversed. So the given inequality, if and only if x plus 2 by x is greater than or equal to 0.2. Observe that 0.2 is nothing but 1 by 5. Now observe that we are missing the fact that x plus 2 by x is positive. Then only you can apply log on both the sides there. Okay, but observe that once again you don't have to consider this one because already you have x plus 2 by x is greater than or equal to 1 by 5. So with this greater than or equal to 1 by 5, obviously it will be greater than 0. So we don't need this condition. It is enough if we simply continue with this condition. Now this is if and only if x plus 2 by x minus 1 by 5 is greater than or equal to 0. If and only if, taking LCM, I'll have it as 5x minus x, that is 4x plus 2 by 5x is greater than or equal to 0. Sorry, after taking LCM we'll get 4x plus 10 here. It's 4x plus 10 by x greater than or equal to 0. I can write this if and only if 4x plus 10 into, you can cancel a 2 here, so you'll have 2x plus 5 into x greater than or equal to 0, of course you'll have by x square, but the sign of it only depends on the numerator. Therefore I am taking away denominator, and also you cannot have x equal to 0. So x must be greater than 0. X is not equal to 0. Now this is what we want. Now this is a quadratic. Now you can see that if I equate to 0, I get the roots as minus 5 by 2 and 0. So obviously for this to happen, I want x to lie beyond the roots. So this side and 0 cannot happen like that. So obviously the required values of x are minus infinity to minus 5 by 2 closed, or 0 to infinity, open 0 to infinity. Let's go to next problem. Now we know that mod x is not differentiable at 0, but x times mod x is differentiable everywhere. So here in this problem, if I factorize this one, you can see that sum of the coefficients is 0. Therefore x plus 1 will be a factor. X minus 1, because putting x equal to 1 you will have some of the coefficients. Therefore x minus 1 is a factor. So this one factorizing will write f of x is equal to, you have x minus 2 into x plus 2 into mod of inside 1 after factorizing, after extracting x minus 1. You know synthetic division and all that. So I'll be having it as x minus 2 into x minus 3 for the quadratic ultimately, plus x by 1 plus mod x I get. So you can see that it is x minus 2 into mod x minus 2 is there here, and I have x plus 2, no problem with this. I have mod x minus 1 plus mod x minus, into mod x minus 3 plus x by 1 plus mod x. Therefore I observe that it is differentiable at 2, and I need to worry about these points 1, 3. Observe that they have the same status, 1, 3 and 0. So these are the points I have to worry about. Obviously it is differentiable at 2. Therefore it rules out options A and C. And you can see that 2, it is never a troubling point. Therefore it rules out option B also. Therefore obviously option D is the answer. Now you can directly verify. If you are not getting, you can ask me at a later point of time. Let's go to next problem. Okay, in this problem, let me assume the circle C to be x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0. The given circle is x square plus y square minus 1 equal to 0. These two circles, we want them to be orthogonal. So 2g dash plus 2f f dash is equal to c plus c dash, implies c must be equal to 1 in the required circle. And also the radical axis of these two circles, s minus s dash equal to 0, gives me 2gx plus 2fy plus c plus 1 equal to 0. Now you said that the radical axis is parallel to y-axis, so it is of the form x equal to k. Therefore you cannot have y coefficient, non-zero. So I understand f must be 0. Therefore the circle C, its equation now becomes x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 1 equal to 0, because f is 0 and c is 1. So any equation which looks like this will work. And observe that among the given options, only option A has this form. Therefore that is the answer. Let's go to next problem. In this problem, it is easy to see that both the circles, they have their centers on the x-axis, and it is given that one circle lies completely inside the other circle. So say this is the first circle lying completely inside the other circle. So this is just one case. Okay, now if I take radical axis of these two circles, you can see that it is parallel to y-axis, and it should be disjoint from the circles. Either both the circles lie on the left hand side of the radical axis as shown in the diagram, or they both can lie on the right side. But the radical axis cannot intersect the circles by definition of radical axis. Therefore, I understand that, observe that not only the radical axis is parallel to axis, in fact it is y-axis itself, because the constants are the same. This is radical axis, nothing but y-axis. Okay, therefore this is the origin which is lying outside of both the circles. So as the origin lies outside, you have S11 is greater than 0 for this point. You can use any of the circles. From that you can see that you are getting B greater than 0. And observe that as both the centers lie on the same side, so the center of one circle is minus a2 comma 0 and the circle is minus a1 comma 0. As they lie on the same side of y-axis, both these have the same sign. So if they lie to the left of y-axis, both will be negative. If they lie to the right of y-axis, both will have positive x coordinates of the centers. Therefore, the product of a1 a2 is always greater than 0. So option B is the answer. Let's go to next problem.